How's it going, everybody? I am Luke, and I am joined, as always, once again by my friend and co-host Joe. Uh, Joe, the end of the summer is here.
And it's about time.
Yeah,
It's about
mixed
time.
feelings. There's a somber tone, I believe, at least in my room. There's good and bad, with the summer ending. Extra responsibilities are added, but there's also the return of hockey season in a matter of weeks.
Yes.
Perhaps not all bad.
No,
not
it's
all bad.
perfectly fine with me because we are days and days closer to hockey. He's 44 days now, which is perfectly fine with me. I cannot wait until the beginning of hockey season to be back.
I think NHL 19 drops about 3 weeks from today, too.
Oh, thank God. I cannot wait for that either.
I know.
But yes.
Well,
we're back. Final episode of the season. The next time you'll be hearing us. We will no longer be recording over Google Hangouts, so I'm sure the audio will be back to normal if you've been listening for longer than probably about 4 months or so now since our summer began. So get excited for that. A little more production quality.
Hey, let's address this. Our last episode was the very first one ever to reach 1,000 views.
Yes.
So thank you all very much for that.
I think we're at 1,400 now, which is like 900 more than our most listened to episode of all time. Thank you. We really appreciate you guys for listening. That was a fun episode last one.
Joe, I said this to you in a chat or in a DM, but it's amazing that we started this out in a tiny little office in our high school. And it blows my mind that 1,500 people almost come to us as a voice to kind of represent the community. It's just, oh geez, that's a dangerous game. That's really creepy.
It's pretty surreal sometimes when you think about it, but yeah.
We're playing chess, not checkers now. It's oof.
And also I want to mention less than a week until I have GR. Pretty excited.
That's that expanding that recognition farther than the Twitterverse.
Yes, I the other day, but giving it the official mention right now on the pod. So yes, absolutely. But without further ado, we'll get into some hockey talk.
Oh, hey, before that, remember last episode you asked me who my favorite GR personality is?
Yes.
I think it's Paul Hamilton. I don't know if I said that.
Yes, he's one of my favorites.
I love Fam. Okay. Hockey talk.
Okay.
We all came here for.
So, beginning of this episode, I just want to touch on the Ivan Hlinka tournament, or the Hlinka Gretzky as it's called now, but I'm going to call it the Hlinka tournament because that's what it's been called every other year. So I really don't care.
The Canadians had to stick their grimy paws in it.
Yes. But yes, Team Canada won the Hlinka Gretzky Cup, and in very controversial fashion, because did you see the game where Canada-USA?
I did not see the game, but I saw the play.
Yes, ridiculous. Canada scored with 0.0 seconds to go. USA was robbed of contention of the gold medal here. Ridiculous.
You know what? They can take their little preseason championship, okay? When January comes and the nose has to hit the grindstone, we know who's taking it this year.
I think USA has another chance to gold at the World Juniors. They got a very solid team. Jack Hughes is going to be there. I'm trying to think of some other guys. Brady Tkachuk will also be there as a returning player. I'm excited. To watch Team USA. Canada, if bring Alexis Lafreniere to the World Juniors, they are crazy. This kid is a special talent.
They got to bring him there. They're unveiling a weapon.
Yes.
If they don't bring him,
he's just on another level. This kid, he is going to have well over 100 points this year, and he's not draft eligible until 2020. This kid's phenomenal.
Is he with Rimouski?
Same team that Sidney Crosby played for when he was in the Quebec League. And he's getting compared. Yeah, Rimouski Oceanic. He's already compared to Sidney Crosby, and frankly, I can see it. This kid's incredible. He's going to be a franchise player.
Yeah, he is incredible. I can't wait. But yeah, I want to see what he does if he comes to the juniors.
Mm-hmm. And Jack Hughes, of course, will also be at the World Junior Championship. He didn't play at the Holinka because he was playing in the World Junior Summer Showcase.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Jack Hughes, I'm in the process of writing up my preseason 2019 draft rankings right now, and I just finished my profile of Jack Hughes last night. And this guy, he's going to be a franchise player. I've been saying this for a while now. I truly believe that at the same stage of development, Jack Hughes is every bit as good as Jack Eichel, Austin Matthews, pretty much any other prospect that's come out of the draft since Connor McDavid, even before that, really. This guy is, I know he's not the biggest guy. I said this in my piece. You don't have to be 6'3" in the NHL to be considered a dominant player anymore.
You
Like
don't have to be
there's
Chris Pronger.
there's guys like Johnny Gaudreau who are elite players in this game now who are below 6 foot. And Jack Hughes, he's like 5'10". He's I want to say he's 170-ish pounds, but he's going to fill out his frame. I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have a ridiculous year for the development team. I think he broke the under 17 team record last year, and he played with the U17 squad for a little bit, and he was just so good they moved him up to the U18 team as a 16-year-old and immediately became their number one center, played on a line with Joel Fair round pick and Oliver Wahlstrom, who was the New York Islanders first round pick, and was their best player as a 16-year-old on an under 18 team. He's just that good.
These last couple of drafts have absolutely proved that the game is changing, and I think they've shown how kids are learning the game nowadays more too. Like kids are, because the last couple guys who have come out have been almost the same player for the first overall selection, the speedy scorer type. So you can really see it in recent years how the game is changing at like the lower levels.
The game is changing. It is changing. Something's going on because
this kind of talent is going to keep being produced. It's going to keep getting pumped out because all these kids are learning different now. And it started, I think, in 14, 15.
The young players are just better now. If you look back to, I don't know, 2009, 10, like, look back to those drafts, there's a lot of busts in the first round. I don't know if that's just because we got time to see their progression as players, but you're look at the 2015 draft. Like half the round is playing the NHL already, and there's some impact players that were drafted late in the first round the last couple of seasons, and they're already contributing in the NHL. It's crazy. I think players are just better now. It's a young man's league, and I'm just really excited because the Sabres have 3 first-round picks, and this is a very, very strong draft in 2019. Very strong. I got my list. I finished my list. I'll bring it up right now. But you look at some of the guys that played in the Holinka tournament, they were phenomenal. They were great. Look at a guy like Nick Robertson, who played for Team USA. He was I want to say he was point per game. He was terrific. He's Peterborough Pete's first-round pick. He's the brother of Jason Robertson, who's going to most likely be on the Team USA roster for the World Juniors. But yeah, and he was a Dallas Stars second-round pick in 2017, I want to say. Yes. So yeah, get excited because there are some really good players. And speaking of some of the guys that played in the Holinka tournament, you look at a guy like Vasily Podkolzin, who is playing in Russia. He just took the tournament by storm. Russia was a very good team. Podkolzin was I want to say he was I think he was the captain of Team Russia. He had a hat trick against Team USA, was over point per game. This kid's a stud. I have him firmly planted in my top 10 at the moment. And I want to name drop somebody else, but I'm forgetting the name. I'm trying to look. I'll look at my list again in a second.
It's just, man, it's still settling in that we have 3 first-round picks. Like, what I don't know if we're going to get to the draft with 3 of them. I think we'll trade one.
They better.
I think I know it would be fun. It would be super fun, but I don't know. It's just, you don't see that often. I know the Bruins had that case a couple years ago, but
the Bruins
I don't
went
know.
into
I'm
the
excited to
draft
see
with
how.
one first-round pick, and then they traded Lucic, and I forget who else they traded. Oh, Dougie Hamilton. They traded those two guys days before the draft, and then they messed up 2 out of the 3 first-round picks, so they could have had Matt Barzal, Kyle Connor, and then the guy Ottawa picked, I forget his name, Thomas Chabot, yes. But yes, looking at my list right now, number 3 on my list is Alex Newhook. He's playing in Victoria, the BCHL. He's going to be taking his talents to Boston College next season, 2019-2020. And he's playing in the BCHL. A lot of players have been taking this path as of late. You look at guys like Cale Makar playing the AJHL, Dante Fabro, Tyson Jost both playing the BCHL. And then you look more at a guy like Jacob Bernard Docker, who was late first-round pick of Ottawa. I didn't have him graded out as a first-round pick, but that's just Ottawa for you. And also Ottawa picked was Johnny Tyconic. It's been a while since I've name-dropped Johnny Tyconic, but he's property of the Ottawa Senators now, so expect we just love to beat the dead horse that is the Ottawa Senators, so it's just not going to stop. Yes.
We'll have a segment sooner than later.
Going off on a tangent there, but yes, the Canadian players that are taking the college route, it's just happening more and more year after year, and Alex Newhook is an elite talent. He's probably one of the highest skill sets out of any other player in this draft. So I'm curious to see if he can maybe even contend with Capo Caco for the 2nd overall pick in this year's draft. I don't know if he'll be able to do it, though, because every year like Cale Makar was criticized for playing in a weak league. He still hasn't been able to hit the NHL yet, which is kind of a surprise to me. I was very high on Cale Makar, as you remember.
Oh, yeah.
A year and a half ago.
Oh, geez, no.
So, yeah, Newhook, he's a guy. He was snubbed from Team Canada. He didn't make the team, which was kind of surprising. But I think he'll use this motivation. He's going to have well over 100 points in the BCHL this year. That would not surprise me at all. And then a few other guys that played for Team Canada at the Hlinka Gretzky. Dylan Cousins, who's a 6'3" centerman. He skates very well for a guy who's 6'3". And then there's also Bowen Byram, who, in my opinion, is the best defenseman in this draft. He plays for Vancouver. And there's Kirby Doc, who I'm pretty high on Kirby Doc, big centerman out of Saskatoon. And there's also, where is he? Peyton Krebs, who's a natural center but plays the left wing. First overall pick a couple years back in the WHL. The Kootenay kind of reminds me of Sam Reinhart. I'm probably just saying that because they both played for the same junior team, but I want to say he is better than Sam Reinhart. He is a really good passer, has elite hockey IQ. I kind of hope the Sabres end up with this guy. He can play the left wing and center. I think this guy is a really talented player. I really like Peyton Krebs. And then there's one more guy, a couple other guys that really impressed. Philip Broberg, who's a defenseman. A lot of people are saying this guy is one of the best players in the draft already, but he wasn't on anybody's radar a couple months ago even. But he was phenomenal for Team Sweden at the Hlinka, and definitely deserving of at least a first-round pick. But I say pump the brakes. I have him ranked 10 right now at the moment, but if he continues to play well, I wouldn't be surprised if he can squeak into the top 5, because if he plays like this all season long, he has all the makings to be a top pairing defenseman. He scored a couple highlight reel goals, really skilled player, like a John Klingberg type player, Rasmus Dahlin, like that type of offensive defenseman. Excited about him. But yeah, that'll wrap up the Hlinka talk.
All right. Now, let me get back to my my notes here. Brett Murray. I had completely forgotten about this guy, or B, I had just never heard of him until like 2 months ago, probably. where I saw his name. I was like, oh yeah, we do have a guy named Brett Murray. So he's leaving Penn State and he's going to the OHL, and it just so happens the Oshawa Generals own his rights.
Yes. I don't mind Brett Murray. I think he's a pretty good player. He just wasn't playing much at Penn State, and it's best development to actually play. So heading over to Oshawa, I presume he's going to be playing for Oshawa because they drafted him many years back in the OHL priority selection. It's better for him. He's going to be an overager, so he's probably only got a year to play there. If Buffalo signs him, he'd go to Rochester or Cincinnati in the ECHL. But I'm not about Brett Murray, but let's see what he can do in the OHL. He's impressed me at development camp when I've seen him. He's a big body winger.
He is a big kid.
I would have loved if Buffalo would have picked Victor Mete, who was picked one slot for Brett Murray, because, and people are just going to say, oh, you're only saying that because he's in the NHL now. I love Victor Mete in 2016. I wanted all of the London Knights. Cliff Poo, Matt Kachuk, Cliff Poo, and then Mete too. That London Knights team was amazing. They won the Memorial Cup that year. But I was heartbroken when Montreal took Victor Mete a pick after, and now he's playing in the NHL. Sucks.
Yeah. Well, we have a long history, or not long history, but a recent history of slipping up on picks. I hope he can still salvage something. You look at his pages on Elite Prospects and whatnot, and the first thing that stood out to me is he barely played any games. Brett Murray did, so
not a lot of ice time at all.
Going to the OHL, I think he should have just a bit more outlet, or a bigger outlet, to get some games in there. So we hope for good things for Brett, but just didn't work out. Didn't work out in the collegiate level, and who knows? Because I didn't know he was here till like a few weeks ago.
Yep. And speaking of players that did not work out at the collegiate level, Connor Hurley, former 2013 second-round pick. I want to say he was like 37th, 38th overall, something along those lines. He was the youngest player drafted. Lots of promise. Played for, I want to say, Edina High School. Might have even won the Mr. Hockey Award as best high school player in Minnesota. Don't quote me on that, but I think he did. Excellent high school career for Connor Hurley, but was just not good enough at Notre Dame. Took the season off last year because he was supposed to be going to Minnesota, and that didn't happen because he's no longer a part of Minnesota's hockey program. So I want to say Connor Hurley's done. I don't know where else there is even invited to Sabres development camp. So I want to say that Connor Hurley's hockey career is probably over.
Man, it's just nuts that you have these guys since 2013, and you barely ever hear about them because just how long it takes to get through the ranks. But it's unfortunate. There's a different regime then that's been well chronicled by now, but it's not of any consequence. I think it's just, hey, this guy, someone who didn't work out, and someone who we spent a second round pick on in a
very different round pick.
Yes, a very different time in Sabres history.
My cousin went to high school with Connor Hurley.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I have family in Minnesota. They went to high school together, or middle school, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was rooting for the kid.
That's a hockey player name, Connor Hurley. Pierre McGuire would totally go off on a tangent about him. I wonder if Pierre knows about Connor Hurley.
Oh, Pierre McGuire knows everybody. Every hockey player has ever touched the face of the earth. Pierre McGuire has a book on him.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to move on from depressing Sabres talk. Not a lot of Sabres news to cover. Of course, the Sam Reinhart saga seems... he was playing in the Beauty League. He scored a goal in front of the net yesterday. I saw that.
Of course he scored in front of the net. That's his specialty. That is Sam Reinhart's office.
That's Sam Reinhart's office, yes.
There is the off wing for Ovechkin. There's behind the net for Gretzky, and then there is right in front of the net
for Sam Reinhart.
Oh,
and number news too. Zach Bogosian looks like he's changing to number some insider sources tell us that Berglund will be wearing number 10 and number 72, pulling a Luke Adam for Tage Thompson. So get excited. Some number news.
I can't believe people's minds still go to Luke Adam when they see 72.
Who else? I don't think anyone else has worn 72.
No one else has worn it. But I saw the picture of Tage Thompson. And I was like, oh, 72. Like, cool. I didn't think of Luke Adam once. I like Luke Adam.
I really liked Luke Adam.
Yeah,
he was good.
He was a hard worker. Good player.
What happened? Poor Luke. I think that he was like entitled or something. Didn't want to go to Rochester or something like that. But that's just how bad our prospects were that long ago. If you can recall, you remember. You always like to talk about. Drew Scheistels and
and Andrew Saltzers and the let's think back here. What's that dude, Drew Person or whatever? What was his name?
Pick.
Yeah, was that his name? That was him, right?
Yeah, Dennis Pearson.
Dennis Pearson. It's Drew Person. It's like the American version of Dennis Pearson. Man, we've had some really
Darcy's left drafts like 08, 09, 10.
DJ Brennan. He's still in the league though. Brennan is Brennan is an AHL.
Yeah, he playing for the Lehigh Valley Phantom. He's one of the better players in the AHL. Some of those last drafts for Darcy are just a mess. People think the world of Mark Pesic, but when Mark Pesic is one of your best draft picks in that 5-year span, that's sad. That is sad.
Oh, man. Who are some other dudes that we had then?
I don't even want to think about it. It's just sad to think about. Hopefully we're on to better days, though.
It fascinates me.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on. I don't like talking about this.
Yeah, we'll move on. I was deep in the thought there.
Hart Trophy odds.
Okay, yes. This is fascinating stuff.
Arnold is on it. Jack Eichel is on it. So
you know who I can't believe made this list?
Who?
Though at 100-1 odds, Alex Radulov.
Alex Radulov, 100-1 odds.
Yeah, it's like
I doubt it. I don't think Alex Radulov has a chance.
Really doubt it. Yeah, Jack Eichel. I was stoked that he made the list.
33-1 odds.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
And he's the 17th in odds here. So the fact that the Vegas Bookers or whatever you want to call them gave him the 17th ranked odds here says a lot. And they're probably predicting a breakout year. Eichel had a breakout year, and I might place a bet. I might put Eichel to win the Hart.
Really?
Yes, because I think I calculated that if you put $100 on Eichel to win the Hart Trophy, it's something like you would win $3,400.
Yeah,
because isn't it money to burn?
So if it's 33-1 odds, does that mean if you bet $1 on Eichel, you win $33?
I'm not an expert on betting, but I think so.
I think that's how it works. Because you know, if
those are good odds, I'll take those odds all day.
Yeah,
33-1 on Eichel. Put $100 down. You're making some profit.
Yeah, you are.
If you got money to burn, bet on Eichel.
However, the first odd, or however you would say it, the top odds, I guess, Connor McDavid, of course, and I think Connor McDavid is the best player in the world right now. Don't at me.
Yes,
but he's phenomenal. 10-3 odds. I think he's going to do it again. I think Crosby's days of winning the Hart are done. Crosby's still second best player in the league.
The second that you count out Sidney Crosby is the second that he.
That's the second he goes off. Yeah.
I want to say like 2 or 3 years. Fantastic year. One of the years the Penguins won the Cup. I had over 100 points. I think he won the Rocket Richard. Yeah, I think so that year. Crosby's sitting at 13-2, second best odds. Matthews, Tavares, and Ovechkin at 10-1. Then you got Hall, Kucherov, McKinnon, and Scheifele at 15-1. And you got Kopitar and Malkin at 18-1. Patrick Kane, 20-1. Claude Giroux, Brad Marchand, Steven Stamkos, Vladimir Tarasenko at 25-1. And then you got Eichel at 33-1.
I can't believe Malkin still has such good odds either.
Yeah, I'd take those odds on Malkin. I wouldn't be surprised if he could take home Hart. Patrick Kane at 20-1. I might bet some money on Patrick Kane as well.
Tarasenko, though, I don't know. I don't know about that.
I think
he's around
Tarasenko wins the
Eichel.
Hart.
He's around Eichel range, I think.
Yeah, because Eichel seriously might have a chance here. You look at what Nate McKinnon did last year. McKinnon should have gotten a little more Hart consideration, in my opinion. But when they traded McKinnon, just level and took his game to the next step. And I think something similar can happen with Jack Eichel here now. Ryan O'Reilly's gone. More ice time, more of a bigger role on the team. Hopefully he'll be wearing the C, which that still remains to be seen. Probably about a month or so.
You know what's funny? I think to win the Hart in this league, your team has to have traded Ryan O'Reilly at one point. And maybe that's what it's going to take for Tarasenko to get one, too.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. But, oh, man, I mean, I don't know. I think Giroux should have better odds.
Claude Giroux had a great year last year.
He did. Like, this was a really fun year for the Hart. It was three guys who... It was McKinnon, Hall, and who was the third? I can't remember.
Kopitar?
Yeah. What a weird year for the Hart. That's like a Selke nomination, like every year. But
Kopitar had a down year the year before. Same with Giroux.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Giroux had a down year point
wise
the year before
Giroux
as well.
And
so good for
Kopitar.
him.
But it was a super fun year for the Hart. Three guys who are kind of
last year. Lots
of
high scorers. I like
they were like
fun.
Those are
from an NHL point of view, not Buffalo, because Buffalo's season sucked.
There are three guys who would maybe any other season be like on the second or third tier of superstar, and then they just go off and get
That's
nominated.
What we're hoping out of our boy Jack this year.
That's what we're hoping for. Yeah.
Oh my God, Jack, please! But the thing is, your team has to make the playoffs to even get Hart considered. That's why McDavid didn't win. McDavid should have won the Hart Trophy, but he didn't because the Edmonton Oilers were last year.
And what does that say about Hall and McKinnon? Their teams were the 8th seed, and they were the MVP. Like, how that is truly the most valuable player to their team. Truly.
McKinnon. I won life in 2013. I wanted Buffalo to get him somehow, but
everyone wanted him.
Yes. But I wanted Nate McKinnon more in life. I would give up my kidney for Nate McKinnon on this team. There aren't many things that I wouldn't do to get Nate McKinnon.
You know,
in the contract. That contract, Nate McKinnon's contract is godly. $6.3 million, something like that.
Sometimes
that's one of the best contracts in the NHL.
Sometimes I think about merch that we could one day make for this brand, and I think Kidneys Out for McKinnon would be a great shirt.
I didn't like it. Let's do it.
One day we'll get there.
Okay. Are you ready to roast the Senators?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So last episode we said that every time we're gonna record an episode, there's something going on with the Senators. There's just something. Nothing really bad has gone on with the Senators. More of a good thing. They still haven't traded Erik Karlsson yet.
True.
But they signed Brady Tkachuk. Now, this is a good thing for the Senators and Senators fans because Brady Tkachuk, Senators fans don't have to hear, oh, he's going to pull a VZ. He's going to pull Cal Peterson. You know, you don't have to hear that for the balance of a year like Sabres fans had to hear with Casey Middlestat last year. You know, we would hear, oh, he's not going to sign. Why would Casey Middlestat sign with the Sabres? And then we would tell you he's going to sign. Don't worry, he's going to sign. Yeah. What happened? He signed, and he played games in the NHL at the end of last season and was pretty darn good.
Hashtag suburban hockey dads are who said that.
Yes, exactly. So Brady Tkachuk signs with, which is good. I think he could play in the NHL, but it's best for Brady Tkachuk's development to just either go OHL or go play in Belleville, in the AHL with the Belleville Senators. But no, they're going to shoehorn him into their lineup because just to give the fans hope. That's something that's been sitting in the back of my mind. They need more players in that lineup so they don't Avalanche Jack Hughes. That's pretty much why they're gonna just shoehorn him into their lineup. I would not be surprised at all. But Ottawa just didn't do anything. They didn't make any moves. They didn't add any players. Who was the guy that they added? Paul Carey. Paul Carey was the big fish that the Ottawa Senators landed in the offseason.
They have Tobias Reeder too.
No, Edmonton got Reeder.
Or Mikhail Bodker.
Bodker, yes, but that was in a trade for Hoffman. Hoffman is definitely a superior player to Mikhail Bodker.
Oh, I know. Bodker was
no questions asked.
Bodker is a guy.
They're just gonna be terrible.
Bodker is a trade deadline asset.
I don't even think they can trade Bodker. Yeah,
he has a year left.
Yeah,
what's it?
I don't know. And they have to keep him to stick to the cap floor too, especially if they trade Carlson and Ryan eventually.
Any team that is making moves to stick to the cap floor is...
You don't deserve to be in the league, especially since they're supposed to be contending.
A team that we do
playoffs,
a team we don't rag on, or not so much a team, but an organization we don't rag on nearly enough is the Arizona Coyotes.
I have a soft spot for the Arizona Coyotes, though.
I have a soft spot in that they were my first ever favorite team, and they're kind of a lovable loser. But,
yes.
Jesus, they're just installing a new state-of-the-art scoreboard for the first time in, their history.
What?
Yeah. According to their fans, they still have, old television monitors in the concourses of the arena. No, it's just... Good Lord. I mean, it takes 4 hours to travel from, the nearest big city to Glendale. Game. Bad hockey team.
I hope they're better. I don't want to use terrible again. They have to be better.
I know. I love when new teams are good. They've probably been the worst team in the NHL of this millennium. And just, my God.
Are you not counting the Thrashers? Thrashers Jets?
The Thrashers were pretty damn bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, they did not nearly reach levels of futility that the Coyotes have.
They moved.
How bad? That's true. But the NHL didn't want Atlanta. The NHL wants Arizona for whatever reason. You have Vegas in the desert now.
If Arizona is a good team, I think they'll be able to draw fans. They need to move to Phoenix. They need to move to actual Phoenix and play where the Suns play. No, wait, do the Suns play in Phoenix or Glendale?
The Suns play in Phoenix, I believe.
Yes.
Because they still
play in Phoenix.
I'm sure if they didn't, then they'd be forced to change Arizona too, because wasn't that part of the lease? They had to be the Arizona. I think that was the whole story, but I think they're playing in Phoenix, so they can legally be Phoenix. But I know we started this with the Senators, but I have this pent up just anger and frustration with the Arizona Coyotes because, my God, how much can you give to one organization and how much can they take from the league? Revenue sharing is a thing, and they are robbing other teams, quite frankly.
The Coyotes, they fired their head amateur scout. What's his name? I forgot.
That's what drafting Barrett Hayton will do for you. That's how bad.
They wanted Barrett Hayton. Did you watch their behind the scenes for the draft? Chaika was all over Hayton. I sat next to John Chaika at the Combine. Good guy.
If they didn't want him, obviously, they would not have gotten him so high.
Yeah, of course. It's not all their head scouts' decision, too. It's a collaborative effort amongst all the scouts, of course. But
absolutely.
Yes. I think the Coyotes have done a fine job drafting in the later rounds, too. You look at drafted Tyler Steenbergen, who had a good year last year.
Good.
Christian Dvorak, who just got paid. Christian extension, about $4.5 or so million, too.
Steenbergen is with Swift Current, right?
Swift Current, yes.
Okay. No, Arizona has definitely made better personnel decisions too the last 2 years or so. Finally smartening up and trading Domi, and I think they definitely made some good picks with Clayton Keller coming in. And
Domi for Galchenyuk was a heist. I love that.
Yeah, they're absolutely on the rise, and I hope they can. But good Lord, I mean, here's the thing. If it stays this way, though, you have Vegas in the desert. You have that region on lock. They can be the substitute for Arizona if the league ever wants to let them move.
That's true.
And
Vegas is definitely close enough to Arizona where their fans can, kind of migrate over there.
They cover that region.
Yeah. But anyways, we'll get into the listener suggestions.
Yes. And you guys, you knocked it out of the park.
The Senators / the Coyotes as well. So we're gonna move on.
I
didn't know what to talk about this episode, so we asked you guys what you wanted to hear us talk about this time. And Jack, he suggested the jersey draft. That was fun. But now, build a full team under an $80 million salary cap using today's players and contracts. So who wants to go first? Steve our buddy Steve was supposed to be on the podcast today, but his dog ate his headphones and he was not able to hop on today. But we have his team here. I'll read his team off first.
Yeah.
So he's got a first line of Nikita Kucherov, Nate McKinnon, and Taylor Hall. Patrick Laine, Austin Matthews, David Pasternak, Rickard Rakell, Eric Stahl, Victor Arvidsson, Max Domi, Eric Halla, Michael Grabner. And then defensive Rasmus Dahlin, Eric Carlson, Shane Gostisbehere, Seth Jones, Roman Josi, Ryan Ellis, Andrei Vasilevsky, and John Gibson in net. Do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of explain the rules a little bit here. We also added that you had a limit of 3 entry-level contracts that you could use too, hence how he could have, or why it was, well, why didn't you pick, Casey Middlestat, but you had Laine, Matthews, and Dahlin, just for balancing purposes, if you will, three ELCs. Yes. Now, should I do my Buffalo Sabres PA guy voice for at least my first line?
Go ahead.
Or is that too over top? Okay. I'm very happy with this team. I had about like $2 million left over somehow. But okay. At left wing, number 26, Blake Wheeler will be my starting left wing. Yeah. Right wing, number, you know what? I don't know what number he is actually. Artemi Panarin. I have him.
Number 9.
Number 9. Okay. What was he in Chicago? 70
I don't remember.
I think like 71, 72. Oh, but at center, number 97, Connor David. I went there. You bet I went there.
Ooh, okay.
Yep. And it somehow worked. Second line, I didn't really arrange the lines, so do what you want with the lines and figure your best pairing. But the second line, I have one of my ELCs I spent on Sebastian Aho, and he is centered by Sean Couturier. And rounding out that line is Victor Arvidsson. Victor Arvidsson, I believe, was a pretty popular pick amongst us, correct?
I did not,
because he was on Steve's team. My third line, is centered by Nazem Kadri, and on his wings are Sven Bershi and a guy who I love, Rickard Rakell. I think Rakell is a fantastic player. And on my fourth line, I have a center, Andreas Athanasiou, and he is surrounded by Sam Ben and one of my boys, Yanni Gourde, as well on the left wing.
All right.
On defense, my first pairing consists of Jan Klingberg, however you say it, and Ryan Ellis. Thank you to the Nashville Predators for making our job easy with defense and having all these cheap defenders. Left defense, I used one of my ELCs on Rasmus Dahlin, and with him is Matthias Ekholm. And my third pairing consists of Brandon Montour and TJ Brody. And in net, I have Jonathan Quick and UC Juicy Starburst Saros as his backup. I think that's a solid team.
Solid
it
team.
Is.
But I think my team is better.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So
we should make an NHL simulation. Make these teams and put them.
Okay. First line, I have Patrick Laine, Nikita Kucherov, and Nate McKinnon.
Okay.
Nate McKinnon, the perfect first line center because of his contract, first and foremost. Because I really wanted to have Connor McDavid on my team, but the contract, just $12.5 million. I could have used that money elsewhere to round out a better team in general, if you know what I mean. And also Nikita Kucherov, I could have had Alexander Ovechkin, who's $8.5 million, but Kucherov is at $4.7 million, allows me to round out a better team. And Patrick Laine, I use one of my ELCs on a bona fide sniper like that. Second line, Tyler Seguin, pending unrestricted free agent, $5.7 million, $5.75 million actually. So nice cheap contract there. And then centering that line, Austin Matthews, and on the other wing, Teuvo Teravainen.
Oh,
A solid top 6 player.
Yeah, he is.
And then on the third line, I got Rickard Rakell.
Oh yeah,
Brendan Gallagher and Eric Stahl. A few 30 goal scorers. Did Rakell? I don't think Rakell scored 30 goals, but definitely a 20 goal scorer.
At least
Gallagher and Stahl both 30 goal, 40 goal score. All of them in the $3.5-$3.75 million range as well. And then on the fourth line, I got Kelly Yarncroc, who's on 4 years left. Vincent Trocheck centering the line, and then Wayne Simmons on the wing. And then on defense, I have Rasmus Dahlin and Erik Karlsson, Ryan Ellison, Mattias Ekholm, Oscar Klefbom, Brandon Montour, and my goaltenders, Andrei Vasilevsky and UC Saros.
Not Rasmus Dahlin. I'm sorry. Wayne Simmons, the guy who I got to because I feel like my team isn't tough enough. But I
added him for the nice little Gallagher. You gotta have a little bit of grit on your team, but those guys can actually play the game of hockey. They're not like Jordan Nolan that can't play at all. You
can't have toast without grit or jam, quite frankly.
Exactly. So yeah, that was our team. Those are our teams. Let us know who you think had the best one. And
they're good teams,
and some of them are very, very good. Some similarities on all of them, really.
Oh, definitely. But it kind of shows you that it's scary because a super team can still be built under the salary cap.
Exactly, yeah.
Like we have guys who are getting paid big time money, and we still had very good top nines even, and great goaltending and defense.
Yep. Okay. Last suggestion for this episode: Depressed Buffaloes, and once again, check out the Broken Bandwagon podcast. They just had their 3rd episode. I really check it out on SoundCloud. They say, if you had to pick of any seats, which one would you choose? Presumably for a Sabres game.
Yeah,
you can go first.
Okay. You know what I like? I like 300 level, right at center ice. That's what I prefer. I think a few years ago I sat, I believe, section 107, so right on the corner of where the Sabres shoot twice, and we were down low. We were probably 6 rows up from the ice against the Winnipeg Jets. And what I didn't, I mean, they were still great seats. It was still phenomenal to take in, and this can happen in any arena. But when you look down to your right at the other end of the ice, there's so many panes of glass that from your perspective, it distorts the play at the other end, at least through that, through those few panes of glass, and everything kind of looks wavy. You know what I mean? You can't. It's not like a clear picture. So that's why I like being high up. I like being able to see everything that happens. And I have yet to be to an arena where the nosebleeds are really bad seats. I think I think sitting close might be a little overrated. As long as I'm there and I could take in the atmosphere and I could see everything, then I'm happy.
Well, I have sat pretty much anywhere you can imagine in the arena, especially since the glorified tire fire the past 5 years or so, and tickets on StubHub are really cheap. So I've sat pretty much anywhere you can imagine. I usually sit, my family has season tickets. I get to go sometimes, but they have in section 326, the the net where the Sabres defend twice. So I sit there. I don't really like sitting in the corners because like I'd rather sit center ice. I would imagine that sitting center ice 300 level would be very good seats. You get the view of the entire play, the whole entire rink. I would like that. I went to a few games last year in the 100 level when the tickets were really, really cheap for like $10, where you could sit in the 100 level in the corners. Probably around where you were sitting, probably about like 10 rows up in the corner where the Sabres shot twice. But yeah, that wasn't too bad. I've sat in the club sections. The club seats are the best because they come around and like they take your order and they bring your food out. Nice seats, very expensive, but some very nice seats. That's around center ice, so that would be my pick if I had to choose any seat in the club section around center ice.
You know, like the Lexus Club.
Yeah.
Or the Gold Ring, whatever. I've sat there for work when we get tickets for that, and it's man, beautiful. It's amazing.
Okay, and the next question she asks, who has the best win? So I need to expand my horizons a little more because I have just been getting Anchor Bar and Duff's for the past couple of years, but I prefer Duff. So I go to Duff's at least once a week. I've been going a lot lately. I don't know why. I love chicken. I could eat chicken wings every day the rest of my life. It's not going to sit well in my stomach, but man, oh man, dude, I love myself chicken wings. They call me the wingman for a reason.
They do call you the wingman.
They do.
You know what? I think everyone's mind immediately goes to Duff's and Anchor Bar. You know what, though? A lot of pizzerias in this area have phenomenal wings. I think pizzerias don't get enough love. And because of that, it's kind of hard. When I go to Duff's or I go to Anchor Bar, I don't get wings. Okay? I think Anchor Bar's wings are overrated. I'm not a fan of Anchor Bar. Duff's, to be honest, the only wings I've had from Duff's are boneless wings and suicide sauce wings. And I'm only taking one bite. I think, though, maybe the best wings I have had in Buffalo. Let me think. It would have to be from a pizzeria. I would say Ronnie's in Lancaster. And
Pizza Ice has some good wings.
I never had Ice.
It's very good. You should give it a try.
But remember Bozano's? Do you remember Bozano's?
No, I don't. Oh, we have some breaking news.
We do?
Football related, but
okay. I think I know what
Richie Incognito has been arrested in Scottsdale, Arizona. So there's that. There's your
his life continues to be
just for the day.
A downward spiral.
Yes. Okay. Continue.
This man. Okay. Bozano's, I remember having some pretty good wings too, as well as a smaller place called RJ's on Walden in Lancaster. They closed a few years ago, but they had really good wings too.
Smoky Bones has some good wings too.
Smoky Bones has great barbecue. I mean, as the name can tell you, but their ribs are great. Bones.
Every Monday night they have endless wings after I want to say 8 or 9.
Yes.
It's like $17, but if you can down like 25, 30 wings, there you go. It's worth it.
Have you ever been to Zeb's?
No, I have not.
That's some damn good barbecue.
I don't like the barbecue story, right?
What's that?
You know you weren't there.
No.
Okay, I have another podcast called Six Guys, Two Mics.
Oh yeah,
few of our other friends. If you want to hear the story of me and barbecue wings from when I was 12 years old, hit me up on Twitter. I'll send you the link. But
I'm on there.
Yeah, it's Yeah, you're not on enough. You gotta come on somewhere next month. But anyways, is that it? You got anything else to talk about?
I have personal news that's very important to me. I got my license finally.
There you go. It's about time.
I'm an official boy. So I'm driving. I have a car. I'm I feel like an adult. It's scary.
Yep. There you go. It's about time.
Life moves fast.
Dean is next. Dean
is next. The whole Fuse Dude gang is next. Like, I was thinking yesterday, like only three of us have our license. Only 3 of the 6 guys have their license.
2 mics.
Like,
oh, jeez.
Ah, jeez.
We'll wrap it up there. Nobody has any idea what we're talking about.
I know. We've had people say they want to hear more about us, so
All right.
Any closing thoughts from you?
I'm excited to get back in the studio in a couple of weeks.
Yep. Back to the stew. Weekly episodes again.
Yeah, we're gonna try and add some sound into this. We're gonna make an open for Roast the Senators. We'll do we should do updates on the Sharks and Blues as well. Track where the first round picks are gonna be. The first round pick. Is there a chance we might lose it? If the Blues are just complete and utter reason.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if the Sharks and Blues are just terrible and we only have 1 first round pick next year after 7-8 months of talking about how we have 3 first round picks, it only ends up being 1.
Is the Blues pick? Is that?
The Blues pick is top 10 protected.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's top 10 protected, and the Sharks pick is lottery protected.
That's true.
If the Sharks miss the playoffs, they have the choice to keep it. And if they give that pick to Buffalo, if they miss the playoffs, they are done.
Hey, how about before we wrap up, a Bills question for you?
Okay.
Because I think this will be decided before we're on the air next. Who do you want starting week 1?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Yeah, I want to say Josh Allen too. I think Nathan Peterman.
If you're a fan of fun,
yeah,
you want to start. Just want to see the kid go. I just want to see it. Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Yeah,
Josh Allen. If you want to see Nathan week 1, come on. Let's see.
I know.
Throw the kid to the wolves. I want to see the kid. I want to see. He looks good in shorts. He has big hands. I want to see this kid. I want to see this kid wreck shop against Baltimore. If it's Baltimore first week, right? Okay.
Yes. And he looks just like Adam DeLong from Blink-182 as well, the guitarist / vocalist. Just like him.
Oh, and I want to give a shout out to Steve's podcast. Steve couldn't be here today. I mentioned that earlier, but he is hosting the Buffalo Fanatics podcast with Bobby B. I listened to it.
Oh,
good listen. Go check it out. They're on SoundCloud as well. So yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's it for the final episode of season 2 of the Charging Buffalo podcast. We've gone through name changes and downs, but we're gonna try and go once every 2 weeks. In the next couple of weeks or so. So. Be on the lookout for that. We're going to try and up the production quality for you guys. And once again, we appreciate you guys for listening and all the feedback that we got. So, yeah, let us know what you think about the show on Twitter, Instagram, add us. Yeah, we appreciate the feedback.
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
Okay. You can follow me on Twitter at JoeTCBNHL. Follow TCB on Twitter and Instagram at The Charging Buff, and you can follow Luke on Twitter as well at LVKETCB. And
yes, you can.
We have for this episode, and we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye, everyone.